Hi, how to market your resume for H1Bs, H1B aspirants, and F1 students, OPT, CPT, those who are getting onto H1B board, and Americans, whoever not aware of H1B marketing. Imagine there is a client and there is a job opening, and the client has three prime vendors. Example I'm giving: client A has three vendors X, Y, Z. So each prime vendor has two recruiters. I repeat, client A has three prime vendors X, Y, Z, and the X prime vendor has two recruiters 1 and 2. Each recruiter will send the one job requirement to 500 Indian inks. This guy also sent the job requirement to 500 Indian inks. Okay, so like if you take three prime vendors, 3 into 2, 6 recruiters, 6 into 500 Indian inks, the same requirements. So in reverse, they get those many resumes. One, that is plan A. Plan B, if suppose they send 500 requirement to 500 Indian inks. Suppose I am an Indian ink, I don't have resume, so I even collect from others also. So that will become another layer. So these 500 resumes, he pick up 2 resumes. These 2 recruiters pick up two resumes, 4 resumes. They give it to one prime vendor, 4 resumes, right? So total 3 prime vendors give 12 resumes to client X. So out of 12, the hiring manager pick 1 resume. So like this, at least one resume must reach one client a day. See, out of 12, your resume may pick up or may not, right? So one resume must reach the client every day. At least 30 days. If you try that, then probably you will be shortlisted somewhere 1 or 2. So imagine 10 places it is shortlisted, or billing, whatever the issues. So in some locations, overall 2 interviews scheduled in person, face to face. For example, I'm in New York and the interview is in California. So after telephone interview, Skype, then if they ask me to go for a face to face, I have to go at my expenses. And then there is a chance out of these 2 face to face interviews, 1 interview I may get it. So if you market your resume like this on H1B, then chances are high you may get a project in 1 month or 2 months. And those who are working in Java, .NET, short projects, they do this exercise once in 2 months, once in 1 year, or twice in a year, or 3 times in a year also sometimes, as and when the project's over. And those who are working on companies, they don't have to face this music. The same thing I will write on board and I will explain. See, like I said, take client X. Okay, X has 3 prime vendors A, B, C. So each prime vendor has 2 recruiters 1 and 2. Okay, then here one position is opened, infrastructure management or whatever Java position is opened. One position I am talking. So this position, the client hiring manager give it to 3 prime vendors, and each prime vendor has 2 recruiters, and the position each recruiter will send it to 500 Indian inks, like vendors we call, right? Indian vendors. Okay, then this is plan A. So each one collects resume. That's why in 2008 when I took the phone for $50, 500 minutes, it got over immediately, and then sprint time mode unlimited. Then I checked during no project time how many minutes I used. It's almost 4,000 to 5,000 minutes. So those many Indian vendor calls and they call. Okay, so these you will receive, though you place it. Don't put resume in dice. Dice is a little cheaper, so many guys access your resume. Put it on Monster so that only Americans can afford the cost. Then you will get only prime vendor calls. So then these are my experiences I'm sharing, nothing to offend. Okay, so these 500 Indian inks send 500 resumes. Again they pick up 2 resumes, they give it to their prime vendors. Okay, so he got finally 4 resumes, because each one send 500 resumes to recruiter 1, right? So out of 500 he will pick only 2. Same. So see the overall 6 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into 500. These many resumes will float, and out of which one recruiter select only 2 resumes. Now how many recruiters? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 recruiters. 2 resumes. So it is around 12 resumes goes to client through 3 prime vendors. Each one into 3 into 4. So out of 12, your one position, they get 12 resumes. All this exercise will be done less than an hour or 1 day. Okay, so your resume must be reached out of 12 every day of 1 month, 30 business days or 30 days. Then chances are high, at least somewhere your resume will be shortlisted and you will be called for face to face. We call in person. For example, I am in New York, the interview is in California. Then in the map I show how to fly or drive or whatever at your cost. Okay, this is what happens, and that's the reason I'm been telling, avoid all these layers directly from Monster or from LinkedIn. That's why I've been telling, avoid all these layers. Contact directly prime vendors from LinkedIn or from your friends. Friends are working, for example, at client ABC locations. Ask them their prime vendors email IDs and send directly to the prime vendors. Avoid all these layers because you basically they loot your money. Why should you give chance others to take your money? One second, it is your money, man. According to me, at least any client, it starts with $80 to $200 billing. If you have one prime vendor, and then for example $80 to $200 billing, it goes to 100, for example this client, and this one layer one, then he takes $20, and layer 2 he takes $20, and then he will give it to your employer $40, right? So you get 25. If you are an OPT CPT, you will get 10 or 20, very less. So if you avoid all these layers, you can directly you prime vendor and your employer and client. So one is matter is clear. Second, billing, you will get good billing. Third, if any layer holds your money, then you are gone. So for that you have to market your resume like this. Hope this information will be useful and informative, and contact prime vendors only. Submit your resume, and your employer also must submit your resume to only prime vendors, whether it is top 10 Indian companies or top 10 whatever and American vendors. They should not submit to these many layers. It's a mess. Thanks for watching this video, and good luck for your market search.